that they were inside that number the whole night. They were inside that.
Why do you have a polo on?
It's gay. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Are you going to Publix and walk around town with your shirt on?
Yeah, Publix. I gotta go to Publix. Get my chicken wings. Are we, is it almost time, Zach? Holy shit. Let's make sure we get it right at 8 o'clock tonight. Nail it. Nail that shit. Nail it. God.
Say again? You talking to me?
Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. It's a Friday edition of Matthews in the Morning, coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida, and right there in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out, International Diamond Center Studios. Also, Comfort Tip Heating and Air is your number one local HVAC company. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. We have JC today. We'll have JC give us a bunch of good picks. And then we'll have Edgar Thompson breaking down the Gators. JC is ready. He is Mr. Two Bits today. He has a new polo on and his Gator hat. Good morning, JC. You're on the Technomore Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp.
I don't have my yellow tie on though. I don't have that.
Have you already burned all your Alabama stuff? Is that what
Yep, it's all gone. Yep. Got rid of it. I don't know. They're 7-5 team. A friend of ours told me yesterday they'll win 9. I said, I'll take the under. That team is not the team I've been watching for 15 years or 17.
Well, do you think that team's better than last year's team?
No.
You don't?
No. I don't think that team's beating Georgia or LSU. Hell no. And I think that team that didn't want to tackle anybody in Tallahassee, no. Why would they be better? I mean, what'd you miss? Did you not watch? Well, no, you didn't watch. Well, did you watch it? I don't even know if you watched it. I did watch Dallas.
Watched a lot of it.
You did? Well, I watched Dallas last night, and I really liked the way Brian Schottenheimer called that game. And I tell you what, he's such an improvement over Mike McCarthy. You can just tell by the body language of the Cowboys and just the way they moved. They could have won that game. They turned the ball over inside the red zone on inside Philadelphia's red zone last night when Miles Sanders fumbled the ball. And I'm not really sure why Miles Sanders was playing, but the Eagles didn't want him. But the Cowboys picked him up, and instead of giving it to Javonte Williams, who was running the ball very effectively, they let Miles Sanders drop the ball. These are how teams lose. You fumble the ball in the other team's red zone, you lose games. It's as simple as that. But I think Dallas played very well. I definitely have them over 8.5 wins this year. There is no doubt in my mind that is a good football team because I just think they have a much better vibe with Brian Schottenheimer. I love the way he called that game last night. I thought they were very effective moving the ball on Philadelphia's defense. So it was a good game. Loved it. Up the road from that game was a great women's tennis match in the women's semifinals between Naomi Osaka and Amanda Anisimova. And the American Amanda Anisimova, with her fantastic backhand, maybe one of the best backhand shots on the WTA Tour, beat Osaka in 3 sets after midnight to go to the finals to face Aryna Sabalenka, a girl she beat in Wimbledon. So we may finally have an American woman win the U.S. Open. And then, of course, we've got Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic today, and then Simmer and Auger Aliassime playing in the other semifinal. So the U.S. Open is still going on. We've got picks in college football tomorrow. I know you're excited about that. We've got
what is longer, the U.S. Open or the damn NCAA basketball tournament? My goodness.
What, say again? What is
I
what?
said, what takes longer to play, the U.S. Open or the NCAA basketball tournament?
Yeah. No, the NCAA basketball tournament is because I think it's 3 or 4 weeks, but the U.S. Open's 2 weeks.
It seems a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it's full 2 weeks. A lot of players there, and it's a heck of an event. I'm going every year. I've made that decision. I'm going every year. I have a lot of friends here in town who love tennis. I like golf better, but I do have some tennis community here. So that was good stuff, man. It's good stuff. You know, tomorrow QB 4:15. So tell me what your day's going to be like tomorrow. You're going to get up in the morning, maybe go jog around the neighborhood,
get a little workout in.
Go work out, yeah, work out.
That's what we do, JC.
Yeah.
Get a little workout in, then go to campus.
All right.
And get ready to call the game.
Yeah,
you got a good one.
You got
a lot of people from South Florida coming up, Tampa area.
They're really excited down there in Tampa for what aren't they building a stadium down there too or something?
Yeah, if they're supposed to open up, Joey said 2027, 2028. I can't remember what he said.
That's probably when at some point a bigger conference is going to look at them when they get their home stadium. Maybe that'll be the case. I don't know.
JC, are you going to the game?
I'm not going to be there. I'm going to go to the first game I'm going to is Texas.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the Texas game. I'll be watching it with all my friends, and we'll be tuned in at Hurricanes on A1A in St. Augustine.
Oh, you're going to build sandcastles again. I forgot.
No. I mean, I'm going to be at the bar. I'm going to be in front of the best sports watching bar for football in St. Augustine Beach at Hurricanes on A1A with all my friends. Voodoo Rangers, the new IPA I'm excited about these days. So anyway, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. And then, we've got Texas in a couple of weeks. I'll go to that one for sure.
Joseph on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel All says, JC, I need one guaranteed winner in the NFL this weekend for my eliminator pool.
I like it. Well, everybody's going to jump on whoever's playing against the Saints. A lot of folks like Denver over
Tennessee. But whoever you take against the Saints, you can't take them again later in the year.
That's correct. So it's the Arizona Cardinals that most folks are on. Now, if that happens to go south and they lose, then there's going to be a lot of people losing in the first week. And the Circa Survivor Pool is a $1,000 entry where in Las Vegas you can play for up to $1 million, but there's thousands of people in it. And it's over $1 million, actually. And the Survivor is interesting because you look at these teams, you look at the schedule, and you don't have to worry about spreads or any of that, but you only get to pick each team one time. And generally what happens is people pick against whoever that team is playing. So they look at the bad teams and pick whoever's playing against them a lot of times instead of just jumping out and taking Buffalo or Baltimore. I mean, you're not going to take Buffalo when they're playing Baltimore, and you're not going to take Baltimore this weekend because they're playing Buffalo. You cannot lose. You have to win every time you pick. So I'm going to say it's Arizona because I don't see myself taking Arizona a lot during the year. I think
they're going to be pretty good this year.
I do. I agree with that. I think they will be. But the Saints, the Browns, and maybe I think Tennessee will be a little bit better. But the Saints and the Browns are clearly the two teams with the lowest win totals this season that people are betting on. I think the Saints are at 4.5 wins, over 4.5, and the Browns are somewhere right around there. So tough division for the Browns to be in with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of folks like the Bengals this weekend. They're a 5.5-point favorite over Cleveland in Cleveland. The Bengals are healthy. I don't know about their defense, but boy, they're going to score a lot of points. They are just going to load up the box, and they're going to score a lot of points. So Cincinnati's a popular pick, and so is Arizona.
Ronnie in Knoxville, Tennessee says, good morning. I know you're not as concerned about play calling as others, but do you have any thoughts on how Eugene Wilson is used? Even with the touchdown, he had 5 catches for -4 yards. If you could influence the offensive staff, what changes, if any, would you make? I can't remember. I know he caught a couple of not bubble screens. I hate it when people use that because we don't throw bubble screens. We threw wide receiver screens. We didn't block them very well, and he lost yards. It happens.
Get him downfield, man. Please.
He's not a downfield guy, though.
Why
He's more of a
not?
shallow cross.
Okay, shallow cross. All right.
I don't have a problem with the way they use him. I mean, sometimes things just don't work out.
Why isn't he a downfield guy? You're telling me he can't run fast?
No. So people don't understand this either.
Okay.
Not every receiver can run every route. They can run the route, but they may not be very good at it. I tell people this all the time, and I saw Willie Jackson a couple weeks ago. and we were talking about this because he's on the same page as I am because of who he was coached by.
Mm-hmm.
Certain guys can only run certain routes and do them well. Like Willie never caught a go route or a deep post route.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't good at them.
Well, he
was
wasn't
good
fast.
at running slants and in cuts and corner routes. I don't know what Trey Wilson's good at, but usually not every receiver can run the route tree very well, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Now he might be able to. I don't know. I'm just going by my experience.
Has any of your contacts on the inside told us about Dallas Wilson's status today?
I do not think he's going to play.
Okay, hold him out till LSU game.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
oh.
He might play. Who knows? Maybe Edgar knows something. I don't know.
Yeah, I would expect Edgar to know something. This is his beat. Yeah. So he'll probably say.
Andy says here, Shane with the wide receiver room looking really good. Has Napier given any hope that he will start calling more downfield play? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Go back and watch the game the other night. Maybe you can't see it on TV. We called a shitload of down the field pass plays. DJs ran around a bunch of times and either got sacked or threw it to the wrong guy. But we threw and again, Long Island was playing a defense for us really not to run by them. They were trying to keep everything in front. Yeah. So the plays were called. Either the coverage dictated we didn't throw it, or we missed it and didn't throw it, or sometimes we threw it and missed it. So they're called. Again, people think when a play doesn't work, it's because it was a bad play call. That is not the case.
No, that's not the case.
So for example, last night, if you watched the Monday Night Football game, Thursday night game, Jalen Hurts drops back. He had some dudes open probably, but he takes off running. Yeah. That's a great play. People think that was a great play call. That's Jalen Hurts being Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it that it just, I'm at the point now where I just don't even really like talking about it. Because I do know this, JC, and I sent you the clip and you probably didn't watch it or probably understand it. But Urban was on some podcast yesterday with some guy, I don't know who it was, and they put two clips from the Texas-Ohio State game. They broke them down. I have never, in all my years of playing football, especially at the collegiate level, have seen what the Ohio State Buckeyes did defensively to the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
The reason they could do all of that was because they had Matt Patricia, who just came from the NFL, who knows it very well.
Yeah.
But they had all summer to practice it, right? That's not something you can put in defensively in a week.
Right.
They practiced it just for the Texas Longhorns, and it was unbelievable.
Magnificent.
I couldn't believe the disguising and who was dropping and how they got to cover two. It was fascinating. So
it's fascinating to me how Ohio State gets such great quality assistant coaches year in and year out. I mean, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. But the reason I think they could do all of that, disguising and moving around, and they were
good.
Owing all this coverage because of Caleb Downs. He was the reason.
Yeah, another Alabama guy that left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the quarterback Ohio State's using was an Alabama guy that left.
Yeah. Alabama had 3 starting quarterbacks at other schools yesterday or last weekend, JC. But Ty Simpson ain't your problem.
I agree with that. He got a bad rap. These idiots up there don't know what they're talking about.
Everybody's going to blame the quarterback if you lose.
Yeah, but he's not the reason they lost. Come on, anybody had to watch that.
No.
This guy's just laid down on defense. I've never seen it like that in 20 years. It's horrible.
Electronics World,
embarrassing.
Integration and Design Specialist for Smart Home Automation and Entertainment. It's that time of the year, folks. Let Electronics World bring the Florida Gators, college football, and the NFL to your living room. Go check them out, Electronics World.
Hey, didn't your boy Strickland get a big raise or something here?
He did. He signed a contract till like 2030, and then I'll ask Edgar.
Yeah.
But he got pay raise, but he also, I think he's got that in his contract now that when I don't know if 2030 he plans to retire, but he becomes what Jeremy Foley is.
Okay. Well,
I have no problem with Scott.
I mean, listen, everybody was giving him crap about Napier last 2 years.
Okay, so if you're giving crap about Billy.
But let me finish. Todd Golden got him that.
Exactly.
Right. And Todd Golden was his boy and only his boy. I mean, it was amazing. Nobody was thinking about Todd Golden except Scott Strickland. And it was turned out to be a magic pick, just like Billy Donovan was when he was hired. So Florida has really hit gold with basketball coaches. They've missed on a few, but they've hit gold with these two. And Golden is going to have them playing for it again this year. There's no doubt in my mind Florida's going to be a threat.
They'll be in the hunt for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Real quick, JC, let's get to this day in sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union, where Steve Spurrier banks.
Okay.
1906, JC.
Ooh. Long time.
It was the first legal forward pass in a college football game.
Really?
Do you have any idea who may have thrown it? What team?
I think I do because there was a movie about it.
You will never guess this.
I'll never guess it. Okay, then maybe I don't.
They have a great nickname and a goofy looking mascot.
I'll bet you it was against Army.
But this is a basketball school.
Okay, I'll bet you it was against Army, and I wouldn't know. I'm sorry.
Well, nobody. St. Louis University, the Billikens. I guess they were called the Billikens in 1906. Okay. But you know they got that big, fat, chubby.
Yeah, mascot. Monkey. He's a monkey. Whatever.
Quarterback Bradbury Robinson throws the first legal forward pass in the history of American football for a touchdown to Jack Schneider at Carroll College in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, that's one.
St. Louis won 22-0.
I would.
How about that? Brandon brought up Ian Poulter's son, who is Luke Poulter, yesterday at the Walker Cup at Cypress Point, which is almost more exclusive than Augusta National. He went eagle on the first hole.
Wow.
He holed out.
Wow.
And he had a hole in one. Wow. Let me tell you something. I was down at Adena a couple of weeks ago, and they were down there doing some qualifying.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the range.
Oh, yeah.
He's bigger than I am.
He is?
He's about 6'4", about 215.
Ooh, yeah,
he murders the golf ball.
Yeah, well, you're talking about Ian, right?
I'm talking about his son, Luke. Luke's about your size.
I meant.
I mean, Ian Poulter, the dad is about your size.
You're right. Yeah, that's
the dad is. The kid is
my size. So he's 5'8.5".
Yeah, Ian ain't real big.
I was just going to get your thought, a brief thought, on Keegan Bradley's Ryder Cup roster. Do you have any thoughts about it?
I don't. I haven't looked
at it. Couple of first timers on there, but the European team is literally the same team that buried.
They're loaded.
Yeah, and they buried the American team in Italy 2 years ago. It's the same team. I mean, it's literally the same.
Well, aren't they the favorite?
I would think they would be, but with this tournament being at Bethpage, you never know. But the American team with some new players like Ben Griffin, Cam Young. No, I think he's played on this team. But Ben Griffin, J.J. Spawn, and I think Russell Henley are all newbies. But they're great golfers. I can't wait for the Ryder Cup. It's in a couple of weeks. I know we're talking football, but the team has picked Scheffler, Schauffele, Henley, Spawn, Harris English, DeChambeau, Thomas, Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Cam Young, Patrick Cantlay, who's got a great record in the Ryder Cup, and Sam Burns. So I think it's a pretty good roster. Obviously, it's a very good roster. But whether they win or not, I think they'll have a better shot at Bethpage than they did in Italy 2 years ago.
Okay. Greg on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, wants me to answer this question. And he says, anybody hear about the Brandon Spikes comment saying he took a pay cut when he went to the NFL? I have not heard that. I highly doubt that. Because he played a long time.
You think he just said that?
I don't think Brandon would say that because he works for the Gators.
So that's a misquote. You don't even think he said it.
I don't.
So who came up with this quote?
I don't know. Greg just says he asked what I thought about it, and I said, "Well, I've not heard that, but I don't think Brandon would have said that." I mean, he is the liaison at GatorMade, which is a department where I don't even know what the description is, but he's back getting his MBA, but he's part of the football program. I just have a hard time believing he said that.
Alan wants to know is what's USF's going to do well against Florida? I don't know what they're going to do well. They're probably
We'll talk more with Edgar about this, but USF has really good skill guys. They have like, I think somebody said like 85% of their roster is 5th and 6th year players.
Ooh.
but their line of scrimmages are going to get dominated.
Okay. Well,
That's my opinion. I think they'll make plays.
Didn't you tell me on Monday that Florida couldn't block Long Island? Didn't you say that?
Well, now again, JC, they had some plays
you said that.
I did say that because they had a couple of plays for tackles for loss.
Yeah.
That didn't mean
it happens in football games.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, JC, let's get to our Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's number one choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Go visit them at peachlanddental.com. All right, JC, we need some good picks.
All right. Well,
Zach will put up our picks.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna look at these games this weekend. Not as many top 25 head-to-head matches as
right, but there's some good games.
But there are some very interesting games. If you love college football, you're gonna love this weekend. I'm going to start with what I think is a lock, an absolute stone cold lock based on what happened last year in Oxford, Mississippi. And I think Lane brings them in there to Lexington and gets 40 or more. I'm taking Ole Miss laying 8.5 in a blowout.
You know what's interesting, JC? Yesterday, that line was 11.
It was. It's come down hard on Kentucky, and I'm not sure what people are seeing on Kentucky, but there's something going on.
Yeah, I'll take the Lane train and the Black Bears.
You better believe it. They're going to score a lot. Big border war game here that's usually not played, but I'm glad it is. It's between Kansas and Mizzou. Mizzou's got a good quarterback, Brim Pibola, or whatever his name is. He's I don't know how you say his last name, but he's
state transfer
from Pennsylvania State. I think Missouri's real. I think they've got an easy schedule. I think they're gonna play hard. But I like the 6.5 with Kansas, but I'm going to take Missouri.
Is this game being played in Columbia?
I don't know. I want to say it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Missouri Tigers, although I think their quarterback from Kansas, Jalen
Daniels
can cause some problems.
Oh, he's when he's healthy, he's a pain to deal with. Yeah. He's not fun.
So no difference there. I will take the Missouri Tigers.
Okay, we've got a game in Starkville, a very surprising game here between Arizona State and Mississippi State. I watched some of the Bulldogs last week. They're better than they were last year, but they still lack so much depth and skill players, basic skill players. I think Arizona State, see it being close in the first half, but I think in the second half, Arizona State pulls away.
I'm going to take the Dogs at home.
Really?
I just think they have not played in a place. I talked about it yesterday with Brent. I saw a clip of one of Arizona State's practices. They had the water girls, JC.
Yeah.
They had these little bells like you ring.
Yeah.
Little cowbells they were ringing during practice. Like, you have no idea how loud it's going to be.
It is, but this is a 7:30 game, so you're right. They'll be liquored up. A lot of partying going on at the Junction, which is a most underrated party spot in the SEC. It's fabulous. Here's another game I love. I absolutely love this game, and you're going to go the opposite way, but I love Vanderbilt getting 3 at Vatech. I'm taking Vandy.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Vanderbilt. I will take the Hokies.
Excuse me. In-state rival between Iowa and Iowa State. Funny, these teams always play it early in the season. Iowa State's 2-0. Iowa's supposedly better offensively. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm going to go with the proven team until I see more from Iowa. So give me Iowa State laying 3.5.
I like the Cyclones. I think Rocco Beck is one of the best quarterbacks that nobody talks about. You know, he's barely 6 foot tall, but does all the things and wins football games for you.
Illinois is laying 2.5 at Wallace Wade State, and they go down to Duke. Duke is a sneaky good team. But
they struggled with Elon last week, by the way.
They what?
They struggled with, I think, with Elon.
Yeah, I'm taking Illinois laying less than a field goal. I think
you just said Duke was a sneaky good team.
Well, they are sneaky. Well, look, the line's 2.5 QB. It would be more if it wasn't.
Well,
if they weren't sneaky.
I'm a big Luke Altmaier guy.
Yeah,
transfer quarterback from Ole Miss who's been in Illinois for a couple of years.
Illinois. You're taking that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Fighting Illini.
The Fighting Illini. Orange and blue, by the way. They are orange and blue. Here's the game of the week, I think. And that would be an SEC Big Ten matchup in Norman, Oklahoma. This is a tricky game, QB. Michigan is getting 4. Well, the line opened at 6. Now it's down to 4.5. So money is coming in heavy on the Wolverines. So their defense is the real deal. I know that. I think Oklahoma could be a real problem. with that quarterback, but I'm not sure that quarterback's seen a defense like this yet. So
You know,
I'm
that
going
doesn't
to.
matter. I'm telling you.
You like?
We'll see. I've been on John Mateer since he signed
You
with
got to lay
Oklahoma.
4.5.
I love the Sooners in this game.
Okay, all right. I'll be the opposite guy. I hope Oklahoma blows them out, frankly, but I think it's going to be a tight one. Uh, then we've got some games.
Well, here's one more. Are you going to the NFL now, JC?
Well, I will. Yeah, I was going to give you a couple, but go ahead. Yeah, NFL.
Well, did you want to pick the UCLA UNLV game?
No, I'm never picking UCLA for as long as that.
Well, what's crazy is they're favored over Vegas.
That must tells you about Vegas's defense and Dan Mullen's so far. I don't know. I'll take Vegas. I hate UCLA. I hate them. I hate they exist. I hate their softball stadium. I hate their.
We hate John Wooden. We hate.
I hate all the freaks they have out there. Give me Vegas.
I like UNLV too in that game.
All right.
I mean, Dan's 1,000 times better coach than Deshaun Foster.
Oh, Deshaun Foster's out of his element. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'll tell you another team's going to bounce back this week. I wouldn't be surprised to see North Carolina, who's laying 13.5 at Charlotte.
I will take the Miners.
You really? The 49ers? The 49ers?
I called them the Miners for a minute.
You don't think they're going to bounce back?
No, I love the 49ers.
You love the 49ers. Wow, you love the 49ers.
I think they're a pretty solid little team.
Okay. Well, hopefully that'll be close then. USC, Georgia State, over 60 is another one I like. But in the NFL, we've got some good games. The first one is Cincinnati is laying 5.5 at Cleveland. We already talked about this. I think Cincinnati absolutely steamrolls Cleveland. I'm taking the Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals too.
And I like Pittsburgh laying 2.5. Aaron Rodgers against Justin Fields. They just gave Justin Fields a 2-year contract. Listen, they gave him a 2-year contract for $20-some-odd million in New York. He's a good fantasy guy, though. He gets the ball down in the end zone. I'm taking Pittsburgh laying the 2.5. I think
we're on the same side there.
Okay, what about this Tampa Bay Atlanta game in Atlanta? That's a division game, big game actually, even though it's the first game. Just like last night, it was a big game, even though it was only the first game. But these division matchups are interesting. Tampa Bay is only laying 1.5 to the Falcons in Atlanta.
Well, it's the National Football League, right? Yeah. I think the Bucs are going to have a tremendous year. I love their team.
I do too.
I'm it's you don't really know a lot. Michael Penix, I know he's their guy now. He hasn't played enough for me. I will take Baker Mayfield and the Bucs.
I like the over in this one too. 47.5 seems low. I think they're going to score in the 50s. Another team that people's all jacked up about, which I don't understand, the New York Giants. Now, I know they've got some better players. Russell Wilson is their quarterback. I don't think it matters. Washington's got one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the league. I think Jaden Daniels is he's between 1 and 5 in the league. That's how good he is. I'm taking Washington. They'll win by a touchdown. They're laying 5.
I'm not a Russell Wilson guy. I think he just likes to run around and try to throw it deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about the Giants. I'm sure they're improved, but I still think Jackson Dart's going to take over that team eventually this year.
Okay.
But yeah, I like Dan Quinn and I like Jaden Daniels. I'll take the Redskins.
Okay, and then tonight we've got on YouTube TV, so you'll watch this, QB. The Chiefs are laying 3.5 in Brazil against the Chargers.
You know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
I think the Chiefs are going to win the game.
The
Chargers are going to muddy it up because that's what Harbaugh does.
Right.
Why are they playing this game over there?
In Brazil. The other one that's got my attention is Buffalo and Baltimore on Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Buffalo and Baltimore. This is a rematch from the playoff game last year where Mark Andrews dropped the ball going into the end zone that would have tied the game. But Buffalo caught a break and won that game. Buffalo is actually getting 1.5. Man,
I'm gonna take my Bills.
Josh is my fantasy quarterback. Josh,
you're playing fantasy football now?
I'm doing it this year with some guy. I don't know, a bunch of kids. Josh is my guy. They laughed at me for taking a quarterback in the first round. I said, Josh Allen is going to get as many points as any dumbass running back you take, dude. I'm taking Josh Allen.
All right, so we both like the Bills. Real quick, JC, and Zach has all that stuff posted. Let's do our Super Bowl picks right now. Who you got playing?
Super Bowl? Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, the season started, JC, last night.
Okay.
Can't wait till week 12 to pick.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Matt Stafford stays healthy, but I'm going to root for the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go, but who you got them playing?
The Rams are going to play Buffalo.
All right, so I got the Packers.
Okay.
Playing, as much as I love Mahomes and them,
Buffalo.
I'm actually hoping
Buffalo,
either Lamar or Josh Allen get to the playoff.
Buffalo
get to the Super Bowl.
Got to be Buffalo.
So do I want to go Ravens Packers or Bills Packers?
You want to go Bills Packers? Enough of Lamar. I'm tired.
I think I will go Bills Packers due to when I was with the Buffalo Bills, we did the joint practice with the Packers in Green Bay, and I got to ride the little bikes with the kids down to practice.
So cool.
So I'm going to go Bills Packers.
I'm surprised you don't know somebody in Green Bay, Wisconsin, who lives there, and
I do.
You do?
Dexter McNabb lives there.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Okay, then you do know somebody.
What does that have to do with it?
Nothing. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. I just think it's.
Do I know anybody that lives in Philadelphia?
Well, Green Bay is a college town, basically.
Green Bay is the
representing an NFL team.
I'm telling people, if people like JC who like to go to these damn games around the country, there's nothing like a game in Green Bay. Nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a college atmosphere in an NFL city.
In the middle of a neighborhood.
That's great.
Literally.
It's like Buchholz High School. They put a school in the middle of the neighborhood.
So I mean, it's just like parking. It's like the swamp, you know. Yeah. But have a neighborhood all the way around, people parking in people's yards and stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's great, man. I can't wait for Saturday. The weather's going to be fabulous. We're really catching a break with Mother Nature. It'll be a little hot, but man, Gator fans have a great time. I can't wait to see everybody for the Texas game. I'm going to head to that glorious.
That's like a month
Harmonic
away,
Woods tailgate. What?
It's a month away. We got to get to
Edgar. I know. Okay, get to Edgar, but ask him that question. I already forgot the question you were going to ask him.
Yeah, I do too. Have fun at Publix in your golf shirt. That's JC. Join us on the Tight Number Highline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout. Come back.
78 yesterday, by the way.
We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union,
International Diamond Center,
Meldon Law, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Sign, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
The most important thing I learned from my father was work ethic and integrity. Never veer away from integrity, even if it costs you money.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
The core value for IDC is to protect the customer.
That means offering the largest selection, uncompromising quality, the strongest warranties, and honest guidance from experts who are not paid on commission. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Online, shopidc.com.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother, Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football.
Let's go.
We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand. We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers and go Gators.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Crackers, a brand for original Floridians. Great food and southern hospitality in the center of the universe. Brooksville, Florida, floridacracker.com. All the folks driving up from the Tampa area need to stop at Brooksville at Florida Cracker and grab them a little bit of food for the game this weekend. Let's go to the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Inn. We're joined by the Orlando Sentinel's Edgar Thompson. Good morning, Edgar. How you doing, bud?
I'm fine. Is Cracker, Brooksville Cracker, is this like Cracker Barrel?
No, it's similar to Cracker Barrel, but they serve alcohol. It's a bar, but it's really good food. It's called Florida Cracker. It's very good. Very
Nice.
good. They got a cool logo. It's like the state of Florida, but it's a cowboy boot turned upside down.
All right.
The cool logo.
I haven't really been to Brooksville. I need to get down there and play that golf course. I'm
Yeah.
sure you played it
What
many
is it?
times.
Citrus Farms?
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's like Whirlwoods or whatever.
Whirlwoods is no longer there. It's called Citrus Farms, right?
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of golf, before we get into football, Edgar,
yeah.
uh, Ian Poulter's son, Luke Poulter,
Mhm.
is playing out at Cypress Point in the Walker Cup. He's playing for the European team.
Lucky dog. You see what he did yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hole out eagle on the 331 par 4 to open. And then he makes a birdie on the par 3 149. I mean, what a start to the week for that kid. I'm doing a story on him. In fact, I'm finally getting to football and various things have jammed me. So I'm doing that once we hang up. But he is playing for the Great Britain and Ireland team. Well, he's English. He's dual
Right,
citizen.
but he wasn't he born in America? I didn't know how that worked.
He might. I got it in my notes. I need to actually review, but he is dual citizenship. He says, my home's here, but my heart is in England. It was a
Okay.
great quote. And his grandfather is coming over from England. His dad's obviously from England, but they live in Lake Nona, which is
Mhm.
local for the Sentinel. And he's been in Lake Nona for years. So he grew up in Lake Nona, but he goes back to England during the summers often and spent a good bit of time there when he was injured. Because you know he was injured. This time
Right.
last year, he was in the middle of like a 7-month layoff. So he comes back and has just been playing lights out. He was 3-0 in the SEC for the team that won the SEC, don't forget. And he's got match play in his blood, man. That's what I'm going to write him. His dad, love him or hate him, most people probably hate him, was a Ryder Cup stalwart and just a terrific match play player. So we'll see what he can do. I mean, the U.S. team has 6 of the top 6 amateurs in the world golf rankings and another one in the top 10. So it's going to be a heavy lift for the great GB and I team, but it could be a pretty good match. I mean, the course is only 6,600, which is plenty of golf course for someone like me and the average person. But for these guys, I mean,
Oh, well,
but
fair enough.
but it is like right on the point, Cypress Point, of course, so exclusive and so much history. Alistair McKenzie, who did Augusta National and also did Royal Melbourne, did this course. So that's a trifecta for that guy, right? I mean, talking
Awesome.
about design trifecta.
Yeah. Edgar Christopher on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, Shane, ask Edgar about Mizell, McCray, Pup, and Dallas.
Okay.
Any of them going to play this week?
I mean, we just don't know. I mean, we're assuming Dallas, no. Caleb Banks, Billy did actually address briefly, and it sounds like he's trending toward playing, but it might be another week. I don't know about the other 3, to be honest. We'll find out. Billy is all about like, hey, look, I'll tell you about injuries at 8:10 p.m. on Wednesday night, the week of the LSU game.
Right.
He will, I'll give Billy credit. He did discuss DJ's situation openly, more so than we thought he would. And he says he's ready to roll. So if DJ's truly 100%, I'll be interested to see what steps he makes this week because last week was a game to knock the rust off. Now he needs to start playing.
That is very true. Real quick, we've had a couple of people ask about this comment from Brandon Spikes, and somebody just sent a link about on the Titan Our text line about how he took a pay cut going to the NFL. Are you familiar with that?
No, but I love Brandon. He's a good
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. So
Where did he
I don't know
say,
anything
where did
about
he
it
say
either.
that?
Yeah, I guess it was on Saturday down south. So
I'll go check that out. That's interesting.
yeah, we've had some people talk about Scott Strickland's new contract, Scott,
Oh
as
yeah.
well. Scott's new contract, Edgar. What can you tell us about it? Is it till 2030? I think who did I have on here the other day talking about it? But anyway, and is he retiring at 2030 and becoming like what Jeremy Foley is now?
That's the um, long-term plan based on the contract
Okay.
details. The contract slipped out a week ago about now. In fact, Pete Thamel slipped it into a notes column. Graham Hall, I think, had a sense that this was going on. He ended up writing a story. Last Friday was a mess. We get this Kevin O'Sullivan suspension, like tucked into a press release about fall baseball coming up. It's like, what are we doing over there? And then this gets out like late in the day. You're on the eve of the opener and you're chasing this news story because it's significant. Scott has been under a lot of pressure and scrutiny. The Todd Golden National Championship really validated his hiring practices because there have been a lot of questions about, Dan didn't work out. You had the Neubauer situation, right? Kelly Ray replaces him. Great first season, hasn't been great since. There's been other programs that have just kind of struggled with the hires. And Todd, though, hit it out of the park, home run hire. And that really was like a feather in Scott's cap, deservedly so. I think in June, this contract was signed, June 10th. Here's my thing. Who gave him the contract is Kent Fox. Kent Fox is a lame duck president. Not saying he wasn't a good president when he was the president, but he's sitting in for Ben Sass on an interim basis right now because this O thing fell through, the Michigan guy, right? He gives this contract to Scott on his way going out the door. It's kind of an executive order, right? In some ways. So anyway, Scott has his deal. I'm not saying it's not deserved, but it's through 2030, 3-year extension. And then when it's the life of the contract ends, I think it'll be 60, he will become a special assistant to the AD, which is a nice little deal there. I mean, you get an office, a secretary, 100 grand a year, 55,000 dollars worth of use of the UAA plane. I mean, good work if you can get it, as they say, right? But this new deal pushes them into the $2 million club, which is crazy to think these ADs make that now, right? I mean, when Steve Spurrier, I believe, was he making two? It was like the end of Western civilization, if you recall, when he finally was making $2 million. Now you have ADs making that, and Scott is apparently the eighth highest paid in the SEC. So there's 7 ADs that make more than Scott even.
Wow.
And yeah, and you have coordinators making that now. Hey, look, inflation and everything, but this is way beyond inflationary. And it's just the way it is, man. These leagues, especially like the SEC, Big Ten, are generating such tremendous revenue from football because of television and now the playoff, right? But they also have a lot more expenses now with this revenue sharing coming in. And so it's interesting that juggling act and balancing act. And, but Scott, hey, he's going to be here, love him or hate him, as I said about Ian Poulter. I think a lot more people love Scott than probably Ian Poulter, but he has, a contingent of fans out there who aren't happy with the job he's done. But I think he's done better than some people give him credit. And he's certainly done well with the facilities. And And we'll see. I mean, Billy Napier's TBD. If Billy Napier works out, then what do you say? You know, he made the biggest hire and it worked out because he stuck with this guy through thick and thin.
Yeah. There's several players making more than Scott Strickland. Silverback Concrete.
You think there's several?
I do.
On this
Silverback
team?
Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. Maybe not just here. I'm talking about in general across the country.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We
Making way
know
more
one
than
who
the
is
athletic
DJ Lagway.
Yeah.
We wrote a story this week about this DJ Burger. Do you know about this thing?
No.
Yeah, we have a young woman who's helping us out. She works for the Alligator. She wrote on this. It's crazy. DJ Cast Iron Burgers. You can on Newberry Road. It's between the gym and Oaks Mall, right? You'll pass it all the time. It's like food trucks. It came into November 2020, named that. It wasn't named after DJ Lagway. Now there's a Lagway burger over there. I mean, what coincidence, right? DJ's. So now he's got this burger deal going over there, but we wrote a story on it anyway.
Question from Kenny on the Titan MR text line. He wants to know, Edgar, LJ McCray seems like a disappointment. Would you agree with that?
I mean, he wasn't impactful as a freshman, but there are not many that are, especially at that position, playing on the D line, you know, physical development things. I mean, you're going against grown men almost, right? I mean, when you're an 18-year-old coming out, and when I saw him in 2023 in Tallahassee in the state title game, I looked at him and I was like, this guy needs a lot of work on his upper body in the weight room. So he just didn't really have the physical stature probably to hold up last year. And then he added 40 pounds to all his lifts in the offseason, clean and various things, right? So it looked like he was poised for something, but he hurt his knee. So he's been out. I mean, I'm not going to, say he's a disappointment yet. He needs to get on the field. We need to see what he can do. He was the number one ranked defensive lineman in the 2024 class. He hasn't done much of anything. I think they were expecting him to have a good Gasparilla ball. I think his ball practices were quite good, and he didn't really impact like I was expecting. So we'll see. I'm not rolling this kid out. This kid has got all the measurables. He's got a great foundation. Like you look at him, upper body wasn't there, but he's powerfully built. And I think he's going to be good, but he needs to get on the field.
Daryl says, looking forward to bringing on the Titan MR text line. Look forward to bringing my radio headset to the game tomorrow. Hopefully the delay won't be that bad.
What delay?
I guess when they're listening to me and Sean in the stadium.
Oh, I thought you meant
watching
weather delay. I flipped on that game last night.
Yeah.
Like what lightning delay or whatever. We don't need that.
Yeah. Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law says, Edgar, how important is Trey Smack and how many games do you think will be decided by his leg this year?
Who can say, but he's very important. And I will give him credit last year, if you recall the Texas game, they're on 14-0, needing something, right? They weren't going to get in that game, but he misses, basically shanks a 31-yarder, I believe, right? And it was like, this is just that the day they were going to have. He comes back the next week, makes a 55-yarder against LSU that was nails, hugely important kick, and then hit a 53-yarder against Ole Miss a week later. The kid's good, right? But he missed 3 field goals the other night, and that's all he missed the entire 2024 season. So it'll be interesting, but we know how Billy plays, right? Billy does play for field goals at times. And so Trey Smack's role is critical.
All right, Edgar, looking at this South Florida team, someone, Alan says here on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, he says, does USF really have 2 starting linemen out this weekend? I don't know if they do or not, but I think the Gators have a huge advantage on the O-line and D-line this week.
Their interior defensive line, Zach Goodall, 247, he's really good at breaking down film. He knows what he's looking at better than myself. And he says their interior line is not good. So the Gators should be able to run the football. Their O-line needs a good performance. Last week was very disappointing up front. Bryce Lovett didn't look ready. I don't know how against that team. Jake Slaughter even missed an assignment or two, it looked like. And they gave up 11 tackles for loss, which Billy even pushed back upon when Mark Long asked about it. I mean, that's what the statistics say in the game book. I mean, we're like making these things up, right? I mean, you're giving up 11 tackles for loss, and they just didn't look sharp. And this was supposed to be like the foundation of this team, right? This O line. I'll tell you, look sharp, Jaden Baugh. My Lord, that kid's cutback ability and just agility at 230, whatever, he's unbelievable. So, but he's going to need running lanes to do his thing. And Jacoby Jackson didn't do much, but I expect him to get going too.
Yeah, I mean the sharpest players offensively in the last game were Jaden Ball, Vernell Brown, and Tramel Jones.
Oh, well, I wrote on Tramel Jones. You see that story?
I did not.
I talked to his coach, high school coach, Toby Bullock, who's awesome. Love Toby. What a quote. He's a great quote. Really cool dude. Called me the other night after Billy. I talked to him at 8:30 on Wednesday night and wrote a story yesterday about Trammell. The kid was a fresh starter as a freshman. There were a couple injuries. 14 years old, he's starting. He's started every game after that. He was a stud in high school. And he doesn't have quite the stature, but he's so calm, collected. This was the big thing on him. Just does unflappable guy with a really good arm and great decision maker. Billy said the other day he didn't make one bad decision in the game. He went where he was supposed to every play.
I don't even watch the tape, and I could tell you that watching it live. He's got great feet too. That's one thing that people overlook and don't really realize how important your feet are in playing quarterback. He's got
Sure.
great feet. What's crazy to me is I think he missed his entire senior season at Mandarin.
He did. He broke his ankle in the second game. At the time, Shane, he was 19 of 21 for 439, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah. So, he didn't play really his senior year, did not participate in the spring. And to miss all that time and just be that composed and know where to go with the ball, that's what blew me away watching that game the other night. Edgar, what other stories you got that all the listeners around the world may want to tune
Well, here,
into?
let's talk about Trammell some more. I'm looking at the time. It always goes fast. He was going to, Austin Simmons, people might have watched Billy's presser, but for those who didn't, Austin Simmons beat him to the punch on a commitment. They were recruiting both. And then he reclassified, went to Ole Miss. Trammell's suddenly back in play, but he committed to Florida State, right?
Oh, okay.
So then he gets hurt, and Billy and them stayed on him. And then after the LSU game, he flipped to Florida. So pretty cool. And I think he came in here. He was fourth string here, which he was when he started his, I think, what were you, fifth string?
No, I was either fifth or sixth, depending on which day of the week it
There
was.
you go. And Kerwin was like seventh or eighth.
Yeah.
So you can come from the bottom of the top, and that's what Trammell did in high school, and now he's done it here. He was behind Harrison Bailey and Aiden Warner by all accounts. So the story is J. Michael Sturdivant the other night is a great talker. He comes in. I asked him about him. He goes, first day of camp, he goes down on a long route and ball just drops in the bucket like perfectly. And he's like, man, who threw that ball? Goes back to the huddle. He's like, it's this kid. I never even caught a pass from him because he'd been out during the spring basically. And he said that's when I knew he could throw it. And it just quickly evolved from there to where he's the backup quarterback, which Shane is going to be critical. I wrote last year they had three. They also had three in 17 and 13. And they have used two quarterbacks every year, but 18, 20 with Kyle Trask and 22 with AR. So they're going to need a backup quarterback based on the history of the Gators. And then if you base on the history of DJ Lagway
Hmm.
and potential injuries, you got to think Tramel Jones is going to be playing at
Yeah.
times. And
Uh,
and you loved him the other night, I knew.
yeah, I was blown away. Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, could Florida just hand the ball off 20 times to Ball if it's working? Agree 1000%. Hand him the ball. But here's what's going to happen, Dan. We're going to turn on this show on Monday and people are going to, we didn't throw the ball down the field enough. We didn't throw the ball enough. I personally think for Florida to have the year that everybody wants us to have is the quarterback, whether it's DJ or whoever, if DJ's playing, I don't think they'll have more than 24 pass attempts if the game is going the way we want it to go, where we have a chance of winning it. If we're throwing it 30 plus, that means we're having to come from behind to try to win a game. That's just my thoughts on that.
No, I agree. That's how Billy wants to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna. I just want to see DJ play better. He wasn't sharp the other night,
I think he'll
and
play better. He'll be
no,
better.
I do too. Look, LJ McCray, who knows? I have seen enough of DJ Lagway to be a big DJ Lagway believer. If he's healthy, I expect him to have a phenomenal season. And I do expect Tromo Jones to play some. And look like they're in good hands there. Maybe the best hands have been in the backup role. I mean, I guess DJ was a backup technically last year too, but
Yeah.
beyond that. But in terms of your answer your question, the Luke Poulter story, I've done all my other work for the week, but I'm writing that. So maybe people can take a look at that. The Walker Cup Saturday and Sunday, which is a lot of football going to be conflicting, but it might be worth tuning in just to see that golf course.
Yeah. Edgar, appreciate your time. You can follow Edgar on OS Gators on Twitter. So that's the correct handle, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Edgar, we'll see you in the press box. Appreciate your time, my man.
Thanks, Shane. See ya.
Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. UF Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Injuries occur whenever and however, and it's never convenient for sprains, strains, or minor fractures. UF Health Orthocare makes it convenient for you 7 days a week, including evenings, and walk-ins are welcome. That's going to do it. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we'll recap it all on Monday. See you then. Take care.